I'm a Tesla certified technician, and I've spent the last decade showing you everything that breaks on these cars. Door handles that cost $1,200, suspension components that wear out early, money that gets wasted on things you don't need. And after every video, I get the same question. So would you actually buy a Tesla yourself? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Despite seeing every problem, every expensive repair, every design flaw, I would still buy one. And today, I'm telling you exactly why. Which model I'd choose, and what configuration makes the most sense. Let's get into it. When you work on cars every single day, you see them at their worst. I see Teslas when something is broken, when the owner is frustrated, when they're writing a check for $2,000. I don't see the 50,000 miles of problem-free driving that happened before that repair. And that's important context, because even with all the issues I've documented, Teslas are still some of the most reliable and lowest maintenance cars in their price range. Let me break down exactly why I'd still buy one. First reason, and this is huge, the total cost of ownership is actually lower than any comparable luxury car. I know I just did a video on what Teslas really cost to own, and yes, there are expenses. But when you compare a Tesla Model 3 or Model Y to a BMW 3 Series, an Audi A4, or a Mercedes C-Class, the Tesla wins on total cost every single time. I'm talking about fuel savings of $1,500 to $2,000 per year compared to premium gas. Maintenance savings of $600 to $800 per year because there's no oil changes, no transmission service, no timing belts, and insurance is only slightly higher, maybe $200 to $300 more per year, which gets eaten up by the fuel savings alone. Over 5 years of ownership, a Tesla Model 3 long range will save you $10,000 to $15,000 compared to a BMW 330 Biod. That's real money. Yes, you'll have some repairs. Maybe a door handle breaks. Maybe you need suspension work at 60,000 miles. But even with those repairs, you're still coming out ahead. I've run the numbers for hundreds of customers, and the math works. If you're buying a $50,000 car anyway, the Tesla is the smarter financial choice. That's just reality. Second reason, the driving experience is genuinely better for daily use. I know that sounds subjective, but hear me out. The instant torque from an electric motor makes merging onto highways safer and less stressful. You don't have to plan your acceleration. You just press the pedal and you're at highway speed. Single-pedal driving with regenerative braking takes about a week to get used to, but once you do, you'll hate going back to a regular car. You're barely touching the brake pedal. And the fact that you're putting energy back into the battery every time you slow down just feels efficient in a way that gas cars can't match. And here's something people don't talk about enough. The quietness. Teslas are shockingly quiet at highway speeds because there's no engine noise. You hear some wind noise, some tire noise, but it's a completely different experience from a gas car. I had a customer trade in his Audi A6 for a Model 3, and he told me the Tesla felt more luxurious just because of how quiet it was. No engine rumble, no vibration, just smooth and silent. For commuting or long road trips, that makes a massive difference in fatigue. Third reason, and this one is practical. Charging at home is so much more convenient than gas stations. I know range anxiety is real for people who don't own EVs yet, but once you own one, you realize you almost never think about charging. You plug in at night, you wake up with a full battery. You never stop at a gas station on your way to work. You never stand in the cold pumping gas. For 90% of your driving, you're just leaving your house every morning with a full charge. I've had multiple customers tell me this is their favorite part of owning a Tesla. The mental load of fueling your car just disappears. And if you need a road trip, the supercharger network is genuinely good now. It's not perfect, but it works. You plan your charging stops. You grab food or use the bathroom while the car charges, and you keep going. It adds maybe 30 minutes to a 500-mile trip. That's not a deal breaker for most people. Fourth reason, over-the-air software updates. This is something gas cars just can't do, and it's a bigger deal than people realize. Your Tesla gets better over time. New features, performance improvements, user interface updates, all delivered wirelessly while you sleep. I've seen Teslas gain range through software optimization. I've seen autopilot improve with updates. I've seen new games and entertainment features added years after people bought their cars. When you buy a BMW or a Mercedes, the software is frozen in time. What you get on day one is what you have forever. The infotainment system that felt modern in 2020 feels ancient by 2024. Teslas don't have that problem. My 2019 Model 3 today has features that didn't exist when I bought it. That's incredible value. Fifth reason, and this is more personal, the environmental impact. I'm not saying Teslas are perfect for the environment. Battery production has a carbon footprint. Electricity generation varies by region. But over the lifetime of the car, an EV produces significantly less carbon than a gas car, even when you factor in manufacturing. And as the grid gets cleaner with more renewable energy, that gap gets wider. I'm not trying to preach here, but if you care about reducing your environmental footprint and you're in the market for a $50,000 car anyway, the Tesla is the obvious choice. You're getting a better car and doing something positive. That feels good. So here's what I would actually buy if I were spending my own money today. I'd get a 2023 or 2024 Model 3 long range in rear-wheel drive. Not the performance, not the base standard range, the long range RWD. Here's why. The long range gives you about 340 miles of EPA range, which is enough that you're not stressing about charging on road trips. The rear-wheel drive is more efficient than the all-wheel drive, so you get better range and lower electricity costs. And you don't need the performance model unless you're tracking the car. The long range is already quick enough. 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds is faster than almost anything else on the road. I'd skip full self-driving. It's $12,000, and it's not worth it. The included autopilot is fine for highway driving, and FSD is still in beta after years of development. Save that $12,000 and put it toward a home charger installation, or just keep it in your pocket. I'd get it in white because it's the free color, and I'd spend the $1,000 on the 19-inch wheels instead of the 18-inch wheels. They look better, and the range difference is minimal. That's it. No other options. Keep it simple. You're looking at about $46,000 out the door, and that's a car that'll last you 200,000 miles with reasonable maintenance. Now, would I buy a used Tesla? Maybe. If I found a 2021 or 2022 Model 3 long range with under 40,000 miles for $30,000 to $32,000, and the battery health report showed above 90% capacity, I'd consider it. But I'd budget an extra $3,000 to $5,000 for repairs over the next 3 years, because you're out of warranty. Here's what I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't buy a 2012 to 2016 Model S or X. Those early cars have too many problems. The touch screens fail, the door handles break constantly, and the parts are expensive. So yes, despite everything I've shown you, I would absolutely buy a Tesla. Because when you look at the total package, the lower running costs, the better driving experience, the convenience of home charging, the software updates, the environmental benefits, it's still the best option in its class. You just have to go into it with realistic expectations. Budget $1,000 to $2,000 a year for maintenance and repairs. Don't expect perfection. But if you're okay with that, you're going to love the car. If this video gave you a different perspective, hit that like button and subscribe for more Tesla content. And drop a comment below. Are you thinking about buying a Tesla? Or if you already own one, do you agree with my take? I read every comment.